47 applications. 47 times I wrote a proposal, hit send, and heard absolutely nothing back. No response, no rejection, just silence. And I want you to be honest with you, because I don't see many people talk about this part. The part before the success. The part where you are sitting there wondering if this whole freelancing thing is even real or if you are just wasting your time. I applied to 47 jobs on Upwork before I got my first response. And that first response turned into the $5,000 client I told you about in my last video. But the story I have never told you is what happened during those 47 rejections, what I learned, what I changed, and the one shift that made me everything different. That's what this video is about. The first week. When I created my Upwork profile, I genuinely thought getting hired would be straightforward. I had a profile, I had skills, I was willing to work hard. What else could they need? My first proposal was embarrassingly confident. I basically told the client I was the right person for the job without offering a single reason why they should believe that. No reviews, no portfolio, no track record. Just confidence, which to a stranger on the internet means absolutely nothing. No response. So I tried again. Different job, similar proposal, different words, same energy, same result. I wasn't learning anything. I was just repeating the same mistake faster. By the end of week 1, I had sent 12 proposals and heard back from 0 clients. 0. Here is what most people do at this point. They quit. They say Upwork doesn't work. The platform is oversaturated. Clients only hire experienced people. I almost said all of those things. What I was actually doing wrong. Around proposal number 80, something shifted. I started reading other freelancers' profiles, not to copy them, but to understand the difference between someone who looked trustworthy and someone who looked desperate. And I saw it immediately. Every proposal I had written was about me, my skills, my availability, my eagerness, me. But the clients are not hiring you because of you. They are hiring you because of what you can solve for them. I had been walking into every conversation talking about myself, when all the client wanted to hear was, I understand your problem and here is how I will fix it. This sounds obvious now, but in the moment, when you are rejected over and over and over, you are starting to doubt yourself. The last thing you think about is the other person's perspective. You are too busy defending yourself in your own head. So I rewrote everything. My profile stopped being a list of things I could do. It became a description of problems I could solve. My proposals stopped starting with I and starting with the client's job description, showing them I had actually read it, understood it, and thought specifically about their situation. And something else changed too. I stopped applying to every job I could find. I started being selective. I only applied to jobs where I genuinely believed I could deliver excellent work, not just acceptable work. Excellent. Because I realized something. On Upwork, your reputation is worth more than your time. One 5-star review from a client who trusted you completely is worth more than 10 okay reviews from clients you rushed through. The turning point. Proposal number 47. I'm not going to pretend there was a dramatic moment where everything clicked. The truth is messier than that. By proposal 37, I had gotten a couple of responses, but nothing converted into a job. Small improvements to keep me going. Not enough to feel like I had figured it out. By proposal 43, I was seriously questioning whether my niche was too competitive. Maybe I should switch completely. Maybe proofreading and transcription was not where I should be. And then I found the job posting that became my $5,000 client. I almost didn't apply. The job had 50 to 20 proposals already showing when I opened it. And my first thought was, why would they pick me over someone with experience in reviews? But I remembered what I had learned. I didn't write a proposal this time. I wrote a letter. Not a formal letter, a real one. I read their job description carefully. This was a client dealing with a very specific type of audio, multi-speaker, difficult content. I acknowledged that directly. I told them exactly what my approach would be for that type of file. I mentioned that I was a fresh graduate who was full of availability, and I framed that as a feature, not as an apology. And then, almost as an afterthought, I asked if they would be willing to let me try a sample before they committed to anything. Because I believed if they saw my work on their specific content, they would understand what I could offer better than any proposal could explain. 10 minutes later, they replied, what it actually takes. 3 lessons nobody tells you. I've thought a lot about those 47 applications since then, about what they actually taught me that I couldn't have learned any other way. The first thing, rejection on Upwork is not personal. I know that sounds like the kind of thing people say to make you feel better, but I mean it mechanically. Most of the time when you don't hear back, it's not because you failed. It's because you were sending generic proposals to jobs where someone slightly more specific beat you. That's not a failure. That's data. The second thing, the gap between your first proposal and your good proposal is not talent. It's observation. I got better at Upwork by studying the platform, studying successful profiles, and studying why my proposals were not working, not by trying harder with the same approach. Trying harder with a broken approach just gets you rejected faster. The third thing, and this is the one that matters most, starting before you are ready is the entire point. I was not ready when I wrote proposal number 1. I had no reviews, no track record, no portfolio. I was objectively less qualified than most people applying to the same jobs. But the only way to become qualified was to start before I was qualified. Every proposal I sent, even the one that got no response, was teaching me something. How clients describe their needs, what the language they use, what they are worried about, what they value. By the time I wrote proposal number 47, I was not a different person. I was the same person with 46 rejections worth of information that nobody who had given up could access. What to do right now? If you are starting today, if you are thinking about starting on Upwork or any freelancing platform and you are waiting until you feel ready, here is the most honest advice I can give you. You will never feel ready, not because you are not capable, but because readiness is a feeling that comes after you start, not before. Create your profile today. Make it about the problems you solve, not the skills you have. Apply to 5 jobs this week, not 50. 5, but with proposals that are genuinely tailored to each specific job. Read each job description carefully before you write a single word of your application. Expect to hear nothing from your first 5, maybe your first 20. That's not failure, that's tuition. And when you do get your first response, even if it doesn't convert into a job, screenshot it, save it, because that response means the platform works. That response means someone out there saw value in what you offered. And if one person did, more will. The only difference between the person who makes money freelancing and the person who doesn't is that one of them kept going past the silence. 47 applications before my first hire. One client who paid me just under $5,000. And a lesson I'm still thinking about today, that the most expensive thing you can do is quit one application before the one that would have changed everything. If you haven't watched my original video about exactly how that first Upwork job went, the screenshots, the message, the payment, I'll link it right here. That video and this one are the full story. And if this one helped you see freelancing differently, the like button takes 1 second and it genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need to hear this. Subscribe to Dating Money. Every week we talk honestly about money, what it takes to earn it, keep it, and make it work for you. In dating money terms, those 47 applications were the dates before the relationship, and the relationship was worth every single one. I will see you in the next one.